Lefiya once went to Oractory dreaming of being an adventurer, but Arisa stayed in the school district to become a teacher. To become a teacher in the school district, the competition rate is so high that it can even be compared to joining the powerful faction of Oractory. One is that to become a teacher you must have the corresponding qualifications, and the other is that there are many people who yearn for the great teacher and the gods who guide them all the time. Among them, being a supervisor can be considered the easiest way to become a teacher. LFC, Leon Sensei Fan Club, still exists. Of course. If you want to run a private organization, you need official authority. I am now the president of the fan club. This is definitely not an abuse of power. Listening to students' voices and trying to avoid conflicts between students and teachers as well are a supervision of the students. When she first met Lefiya, Arisa was very excited about a certain teacher in the school district. I'm going to target the teacher because I want to get close to him at the beginning. However, even if the reason was just a dream, his desire to become a teacher in the school district is genuine. Looking back on her first love, her heart was touched, she became interested and also dreamed of pursuing the same career path. Arisa is currently working hard to become a teacher in the school district, to fulfill her dream. Knowing this, Lefiya felt the same and was overjoyed. The trump card of alchemy, and the superintendent of the school district. This is Arisa's title today. Also, hear me out about Lefiya. Before the family's recruitment request was filed on the Oractory side, Bel Cranel of the Hestia family actually forcibly invaded the school district. The fastest rabbit in the world is famous in the countries and cities we visit, but I didn't expect him to be so lacking in common sense. What a disappointment. Does Lefiya know that human? No, not me. I do not understand anything. That rabbit, shameless and rude or something, I don't understand anything. Lefiya and the others happily chatted about the current situation and gossip, and reached a balcony located in the middle of the temple tower. The sky was very clear and blue. It is currently the school that Lefiya has passed numerous times, and students can be seen coming and going everywhere. There is also a suspicious figure of a red-haired goddess who keeps talking to them. What should I do? I have a lot to say and I can't finish. We've only been apart for 3 years. Arisa held her hair blown by the sea breeze and narrowed her eyes deeply into glasses. Hearing those words, Lefiya muttered in her heart. Yes, it's been 3 years. Only 3 years. Or it's been 3 years. Different people have different opinions. But Lefiya belongs to the latter. Each day of her adventures in Oractory was a violent and turbulent daily life, and she experienced many things at a dizzying pace. There is joy, there is sadness, there is setback. There is also loss. Thinking of that beautiful and ugly girl, Lefiya lowered her eyes. You've changed, Lefiya. As I said just now, I didn't recognize who you were at first. I always feel like a different person, how should I say, you've become more mature. Arisa looked at Lefiya like that and told her carefully, choosing her words. That's not true, you've become an adventurer. Then she laughed to herself. I can understand, being pulled away by you. I always feel a bit reluctant. In our generation, Lefiya must have grown up significantly. Does that mean that those of you who chose the Loki family are the right ones? Arisa had no other meaning. Lefiya knew this very well, but she still only managed to show a fake smile. There is no right answer. That's right. If you don't become an adventurer, you won't meet Miss A's and the others, and you won't have to experience this loss. But at the same time, even if you avoid this loss, without knowing anything, it's hard to say that this is correct. Without Lefiya, the city could be destroyed. This is not an exaggeration. Not just Lefiya, even if one of the others is missing, they can be destroyed. So nobody knows what the right answer is. If Arisa feels that she has changed, it means that Lefiya has experienced regrets that she cannot even forgive herself. After regrets that came too late, she stood in front of Arisa like this. For Lefiya, this is not something worthy of praise. No way. Unconsciously, self-deprecation oozes from the smile that emerges. Seeing this, Arisa realized that she had said something wrong, so she closed her mouth. However, your name can be heard all over the world. Indeed, in several places. Can you believe it? There are even rumors about my roommate in the Empire and the Chaos Desert. How could it be? It must have been decoration. I'm not that good. Arisa happily changed the subject. Lefiya felt a little guilty and smiled at the same time. After laughing a bit, she looked around the school district scene. I should have accepted this mission with a sense of responsibility, but I'm already starting to regret coming to the school district. There are really many memories here. No matter where you look, you'll easily think of the scene at that moment. Even talking to Arisa like this, just looking at the tower's school district scenery, I can remember a lot of things. This is not Arisa's fault. It was Lefiya's sentimentality, the thought of shame. Exist here in the school district, even if she didn't want to, she had to face herself at that moment. Knowing nothing, just fantasizing, believing and aiming for a better future with bright eyes. Only now she doesn't want to face her ignorant memories. Only now that she has just lost her, it will make her very sore. Where did I move? Lefiya asked herself unanswered questions and her consciousness sank into a sea of memories. Once upon a time, Lefiya Voridis was a kind-hearted girl. Neither behaves so rudely that others cannot bear it, nor cause others to encounter stubborn reserve and sense of race. No matter what race or character she faces, she is quite pure and innocent. Perhaps it should be called full of interest. To put it bluntly, she is the complete opposite of the elves they are commonly known for, and she is an easy-to-approach elf. The reason for all this is due to the elf village where she was born and raised. Lefiya's hometown, Vish Forest, is very strange. Among countless elf villages, this place is considered to be very open. The Forest of Vish is located on the vast, great river of the forest, in the center of the continent, and is also an important transportation point for businessmen and travelers traveling to and from the continent. Many other races of humans will stay here and then leave. In countless elven forests, this is extremely rare. The elf village that was previously very closed is indeed gradually adapting to the age of the gods. But never so open. Many forests protect the great sacred tree from monsters, follow the clan's teachings, and draw a clear dividing line with the outside world. Elves are often shocked and they leave their villages and discover how colorful the world is. The Vish Forest family is not like that. Inner elves will actively communicate with other races, dreaming of going out into the world and eventually leaving the forest. A social elf who possesses exceptional magical power among the same race and does not reject other races. This is the elf from the Forest of Wishes. All the reasons can be traced back to the ancestor who became the name of this forest. What a bore, what a bore. What a boring elf custom. Countrymen. You have to run out of the woods and look at the world. Create bonds and expand the circle of elves. Please know what true pride is. This is the poem of Vish, one of the 3 great poets of the world, who left their names in ancient times. It is also a teaching in the village today. Vish appears to be an unbridled elf, a traveler who lives nowhere and is never going to stay in one place and build a village. However, the elves who admired the poet retook the forest where Vish was born and was ravaged by monsters, and established a village here. And then named after her. Thus, a village of elves called Forest of Vish was born. The villagers follow the teachings of the elf who is the freest of all, and are also interested in the outside world. Among these compatriots, young Lefiya was no exception. She would go to the village tavern to pester travelers for stories, and would often look with shining eyes at the gifts brought back by her countrymen. The huge waterfall that covers the sea, the desert sea of chaos, and the dungeon. I don't know how it will be. Hand in hand on the mossy ground, she walked through the fallen trees. It's a secret garden. This is a flower field with many small white flowers swaying in it. It is a precious place known only to Lefiya. The outside world. I really want to see it. Leaning against the fallen trunk of the tree, she opened a picture book depicting the outside world. Deep in thought of her, the great sage of the forest who is famous for blooming a crown of light. The tree continued to watch her. Although she has a kind heart, Lefiya is a bit shy and not decisive enough to get things done, so it's hard to travel abroad alone based on such vague thoughts.